like totally Orwellian. Nearly a third of Gen Z favors government surveillance cameras in every household. Can you imagine this? Nearly one-third of Generation Z says they'd be just fine with government-installed surveillance cameras in every household under the guise of reducing domestic violence and other illegal activity. Would you favor or oppose the government installing surveillance cameras in every household to reduce domestic violence, abuse, and other illegal activity? Asks a new survey from Cato Institute. Of the response, 29% of those aged 18 to 29 said yes, they would be in favor. And as the New York Post notes, in 1791, the utilitarian philosopher Jeremy Bentham proposed building a panopticon in which people's behavior could be monitored at all times. But Bentham's panopticon was meant to be a prison. A sizable segment of Generation Z would like to call it home. When it comes to other age brackets, 20% of millennials between the ages of 30 and 44 also want everyone watched. Then wisdom appears to kick in, as just 6% of Americans aged 45 and older were okay with government surveillance in every home. Broken down by politics, 19% of liberals and 18% of centrists agree that our daily lives should be monitored by the government for our own safety, while 9 to 11% of those who identify as conservative or very liberal agreed in what appears to be a horseshoe issue that unites both ends of the political spectrum. It's the middle that has the ethic of old East German secret police or KGB. Maybe that's not surprising considering the way respectable liberal institutions now run themselves. From Ivy League campuses to the publishing industry and the digital domains of Facebook, there is an Orwellian sense of perpetual emergency, an irrational fear that misinformation and hate speech will overwhelm society unless every utterance is subject to a censor's scrutiny. Even Orwell did not imagine Newspeak would require new pronouns, New York Post writes. Broken down by race, 33% of Black Americans say they're fine with government in-home surveillance, as did 25% of Hispanics, 11% of whites, and 9% of Asians, respectively. The question was asked as part of the Cato Institute survey on American attitudes on the prospect of a central bank digital currency. What's interesting about that is that 53% of Americans who support a CBDC also support in-home surveillance cameras. Notably, Americans who support a CBDC, that's digital currency, stood out in how they think about in-home government surveillance cameras. A majority, 53% of Americans who support a CBDC, support the government installing in-home surveillance cameras to reduce abuse and other illegal activity. This suggests that some of the psychological aspects behind support for a CBDC springs from an above-average comfort level with trading some personal autonomy and privacy for societal order and security, Cato Institute writes. What's more, those who view the Federal Reserve favorably are more likely to support CBDC, if you can understand that. Sheep gonna sheep is the question mark. And this is by Tyler Durden, Zero Hedge on Collective Spark. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.